Hello students, I am Mr. Rohan Chowgule and today here we are to discuss some basic things related to the mobile phones. So today we are going to discuss that is history and technology used in mobile phone. So let's start with the mobile phone or introduction to the mobile phone. So as we know that mobile phone is one of the essential thing in our life. The mobile phone that we are using is a very small and portable radio telephone. We can carry that phone while traveling from one place to another place. A mobile phone basically is used to communicate over a long distance without wires. We know that initially we had, or now also days we are somewhere we are having the phones with a wired connection. But nowadays whatever phones we are using, these are the phones without wires. So these phones works by communicating with nearby base stations which connect to the main phone network. So different regions having different base stations and our phones are connected with that base station. So while moving from one station or from one region to another region, if the mobile phone gets too far away from the base station to which it is connected, then that base station send a message to another base station to tell the new base station to take over the call. That means while suppose we are moving from one region to another region. So as I said, different regions we have different base stations. So while moving from one base station, if we are moving away from our original base station, then that base station send message to the another base station in which we are moving, that just take that call and our call is get connected through that another base station. Okay, so simply the message is transferred from one base station to another base station to connect our call, and this process is called as handoff process. So our call is transferred from one base station to another base station, or it is get connected with the help of another base station, and this process is called as handoff process, and our call continues with the next or a new base station to which it is connected. Okay, so this handoff process is done so well and carefully that user will never even know that our call was transferred from one station to another station. So this handoff process is carried out very carefully. Okay, normally we even don't know that we moved from one base station or region of one base station to the region of another base station. So this process is carried out very carefully, and this process is nothing but handoff process. Okay, so as we know that everyone is using mobile phones. The main thing behind this is that the cost of mobile phone. Okay, so this mobile phone becomes more popular as they began to the cost less money and the people could afford them. So the companies, those who are developing these phones, they have reduced the cost of the money. So because of that, everyone is now using the phone, and the mobile phone is become popular. Okay, if the cost was if suppose the cost of phone is too high, then normal people, common people could not afford them. So as they have reduced the cost, so everyone now is using the phone, right? So excuse me. So in the 21st century, or that is now in this century, we are using a new type of phone, and that phone is called as smartphone. Initially we know that we had the phones with the keyboards. Okay, it just used for communication purpose, but nowadays whatever phones we are using, these are called as smartphones, and they have become popular. So what is this smartphone? Okay, the smartphone is a phone that can do more than other phones. Okay, so that, as I said, the normal phone is used for communication only, but the smartphone does more than that of other phones. Okay, then smartphone work as a computer, but they are mobile devices and small enough to fit in user's hand, so that we can carry them, or so that user can carry them while traveling from one place to another place. Okay, so smartphones are act as a computer or a work as a computer, but they are very small in size and we can carry them. Okay, these smartphones or these phones or these smartphones can, with the help of this smartphone, we can easily send emails, we can send text messages from one person to another person. Even we can also easily send videos, photographs to the another person with the help of these smartphones. Also, these smartphones are having different functions, that we can set alarm, we can use calculator in these smartphones. Also, we can browse the internet with the help of mobile phones. Initially, the internet was browsed with the help of computers, but nowadays we can browse the internet with the help of these smartphones also. Okay, so because of these all things are combined in a single device, this, that is in a smartphone, because of this, that smartphone becomes very popular. Okay, now more people are using the smartphone than the old kind of mobile phones, which are called as feature phones. Okay, so as I said, due to this all the features, now these smartphones are become very popular and more people are using these smartphones. Okay, so these are some photographs of smartphones and featured phone. On the left side, that is on with the help with the white background, whatever images we are having, these are images of smartphones, and on the right side we are having a small featured phone that is just was used for communication purpose. But the smartphone which are having now are used for different purposes, that is for communication, to watch movies, for to take photographs. We are using these smartphones. Okay, so these are some pictures of smartphones and featured phones. Okay, so let's see the basic history of the mobile phone. We are not going in deep, just we are taking the overview of the history of mobile phones. Okay, basically when we use the phones, the first question comes in our mind is that who was developed this phone. Basically this phone was developed by Motorola company. Okay, so and the phone which was developed in 1950 through 1970 were large and heavy and mostly were built into the cars. Today whatever phones we are using are very small in size and very light in weight, but phones were developed in 1950s through 1970s were large and heavy. Okay, so the late 20th century or in the 21st century, technology improved, so people could carry their phones easily. That is, their size and weight are reduced in the 21st century. After the developing of the phone, the Dr. Martin Cooper, which is from Motorola, he made his first call on the 3rd April 1973, and the phone used to make first call was weighted around 1.1 kg and it was measured 23 by 13 by 4.5 centimeter. Okay, so can you imagine the phone with 1.1 kg? Yes, but the first phone used to make a call was weighted 1.1 kg. But nowadays we are having phone with those are weighted with a those are weighted in a grams, right? So the phone used to make first call was weighted 1.1 kg. Okay, so and the technology or the network used to make the first call was different. Okay, it is not like we are using nowadays. Okay, basically cellular mobile phone network was created in 1979 and it was created in Japan. And now almost all urban areas and many of the country areas are covered by the mobile phone network. Everywhere we are having these networks, that is everyone is using these mobile phones, right? So this is just basic history of the mobile phones. Okay, now let's see the technology used in mobile phones. Basically, mobile phone combines different technologies. Mainly it combines technology of phone, it combines the technology of telephone, radio and computer. Okay, as we know, a telephone or a phone is a communication tool, and originally it was an electric tool transmitting analog speech along a wire. Okay, so telephone is a electric tool which is used for transmitting analog speech along a wire. But now the phone is an electronic tool and it is used to send a digital signal on wire or on radio transmission. The main purpose and basically the main use or the main purpose of the telephone is to talk or to communicate with each other. Okay, so to communicate, early days telephones needed to be connected with wire, which are called as fixed telephones or landlines. But nowadays the modern phone whatever we are using, they are using the radio technology. Okay, so in radio technology or in a radio or the basic radio is a way to send electromagnetic signal over a long distance to deliver some information or some message from one place to another place. Okay, and for sending the message and for receiving message, a transmitter and receivers are required. And the mobile phones we are using does all these two things or does all these jobs. That is, it transmits the signal also and it also receives the signals. Okay, and as I said, it is a combination of telephone, radio and computer. And what is a computer? So this is a computer is a simple machine that accepts data as an input. It does some process on that data and it produces output as an information. Okay, so this is about the computer. So the phone whatever we are using nowadays is a combination of all these things. That is, it is a combination of phone, radio and computer. That's why it is called as smartphones, right? Now some phones are also having the digital cameras inside them. That is, the phones are also act as a camera. Okay, they are used for take pictures also, or they are used to take videos also. Okay, sorry. The next, the cell phone works as two-way radios. Okay, they are as a two-way radios means they are used to send the signals and they are also used to receive the signals also. Okay, basically they send electromagnetic waves from base station to base station. Okay, as we have already discussed, the radio technology is used in phone network, and so that the phones are used to send the electromagnetic waves from one base station to another base station, and the waves are sent through antennas. Whatever the information sent from one base station to another base station is carried out with the help of antennas. Okay, and this process this is called as wireless communication. Okay, the communication which is carried out with the help of electromagnetic wave is called as wireless communication, as it is carried out with the help of antennas. Okay, the early phones whatever we are using in that phones phones use analog network, but nowadays we are using digital networks. Okay, basically the first digital network is known as second generation technology or 2G technology. Okay, popularly it is known as 2G technology, and the most used digital network is GSM, that is Global System for Mobile Communication. This GSM is basically a digital cellular technology, and it is used for transmitting mobile voice or mobile or data services. Okay, so GSM, it is a simple digital cellular technology. It is used for transmitting mobile voice or mobile data. Okay, all over world normally we are using the GSM technology. Okay, the other countries like Japan, they are having different 2G protocols, and in few 2G networks are still available all over the world. Nowadays, that initially it was 2G technology was developed initially, and nowadays we are having 3G and 4G technology. Okay, 3G is more common, and some places we are also getting the 4G network, right? And for communication purpose, that we use the radio waves, and the radio waves that the mobile phone network are using are split into different frequencies. Okay, higher is the frequency, we get the better connection and the better voice communication. Okay, basically these frequencies are divided in four main parts, or four types, or four main frequencies are there, or four main frequencies are used all over the world, and the frequency are 850 megahertz, 900 megahertz, 1800 megahertz, and 1900 megahertz. So these are the four main frequencies which are used in a telephone network. This GSM technology also works on these four frequencies, that is GSM technology also works on 850 megahertz, 900 megahertz, 1800 megahertz, and 1900 megahertz. Normally the European countries are using 900 megahertz and 1800 megahertz frequency, whereas the North America uses 850 megahertz frequency and 1900 megahertz frequency. Okay, and this GSM technology, as I said, GSM technology works on all these four main frequencies, right? And the phones, there are some phones, okay, there are some phone available in the world which operates on all these four frequencies. Okay, as I said, some phones, that is in European countries, phones operates on 900 and 1800 megahertz, and in North America phones operate on 850 and 1900 megahertz. Okay, but there are some phones which operates on all these four frequencies, and these phones are called as word phones, and these phones are called as word phones and can be used everywhere because they operates on all these four frequencies, right? So this is about the technology used in mobile phones. Okay, so that's it for today. So today we discuss basic introduction about the mobile phones, history, and the technology which is used in mobile phones. Okay, so that's it for today. In the next part we'll discuss the next points which are related to the mobile phone. Okay, thank you.